Hello to everybody, and thank you for those who have come back and waited patiently for the week for me to come back as well. So today, Friday, the 24th of April, we are, I think, in the fifth week of lockdown in UK. So, how the life's been going on and how you been doing? Phew, I'm okay. So, working from home, like now, is it work or is it leisure? Popping into shop for mail orders, so life is kind of going on. I must admit that it is really, really weird. It's like when I go in the shop now, I have covered up like things like the furniture with in the center with some dust sheets, so it's less work because we still hope that one day we will open up again, and everything is kind of. Oh, I realized I have pushed my little microphone away. I've been carried away, so I hope now it's better. And yeah, so it's very, very weird. It's like going into this kind of the mausoleum of some kind of museum storage where everything is like, when they show in the films that everything you walk in and it's like everything was left before. It's like very, very spooky. So yeah, so that's my feelings about what's going on in the shop. But we still have plenty of stock, so you shouldn't worry. And I think very, very soon, possibly, there will be some deliveries resuming, and we are possibly getting some more things in if we run out. However, so what we will be talking today is kind of a general chat, going over again the same projects I'm working on and going over the socks, see how you got on. Yeah, so, oh, and I will show you what I've been doing. I got carried away, so that's why, again, not a lot. Well, the knitting has been done. There has been a bit of knitting done. But last Saturday, I kind of managed in the shop. I managed to put my back out, and when for those of you who do struggle with your back, and you know what I mean, you have really bad putting out back when you just are an absolute agony, and then it's like when you put it back out and it just nags you, and you can't bend forward. You can stand. You can sometimes sit comfortably. This time, it's thanks God, fingers crossed, it hasn't been that really bad. When a few years ago, when I had like, if somebody would be watching from the street, they would think it's hilarious because I couldn't even drive myself to chiropractor. Martin was trying to get me in a large car, and it was like, well, which way do we go first? Head first or legs first? Or because I couldn't get my bum in the car, legs in the car, and then bend low enough to get my head under the door frame. So it's been as bad as that. But this time I'm fine, and it's like seems like it's been kind of curing itself slowly. And with that, I found knitting for a long time a bit kind of painful because the first thing is I couldn't sit like where I normally sit. I kind of ended up putting cushions and sitting higher. And with that, I kind of started to bend downwards and looking down, and that didn't help the matter. So I've been kind of limiting myself to little bits and pieces. However, if we kind of go past that, having a bad back, we find that I have done a lot of painting in the garden because Martin set up trestles and the sun being shining and everything is being nice and dry. So painting a fence in a sensible height is very, very comfortable, and it's a relief. And then some of you have seen the bits of Chinese bridge he's building. So he had pre-cut all the woods. It's all on the trestles for me, and I'm just painting scarlet red. And I think I still have some bits to prove. See, and there, it's not me slashing my wrists. It's just it's the witness marks of the hard work on a Chinese bridge. Yeah, but that actually did help me a lot with my back when I stood there for a couple hours just in the right height and just painting. I think that because it was movement, it did help, because the worst thing is sitting down. But yeah, so that's my whinge of the week. I have had bad back over weekend. Yeah, and like I said, no, it's nearly a week really from last Saturday, and it's like today I feel like nearly back to normal. But when it, like I say, those of you who know what it means, and then you just get very, very careful and very, very kind of like you bend and you do things very, very carefully and much slower. But that's all right. So I will be fine. I'll survive. Before we go on to the knitting project, there is one thing which I would like to share. It's nothing to do with knitting. It's nothing to do with. It's just a kind of a lifestyle choices, and I am not trying to preach to you and tell you that this is the only way how it works. But I am very impressed, and it's all to do is how you wash your hair. And as we are all growing, and you can see possibly to compare with my first video 4 weeks ago, so we have grown and we are growing. But before even the lockdown, we had a new shop opening across the road, no waste and blah blah blah, and all the kind of healthy and nature friendly products. And one day I got carried away, and because I ran out of shampoo, and they had this little shampoo bars, like a soap bars, like old stuff. And they did warn me that you will have a transition period where you might not find it, you are happy with the result. Because the difference being, and this is no science, and I am not claiming any kind of scientific things on this, but apparently the soap bar shampoos, the natural ones, they don't strip the natural oils from your hair. And for those of you who come in the shop, they know that I've been constantly struggling. That here I have very wavy hair, I have quite a lot of hair, but quite thin. And here I always have had, like, as soon as the slightest dampness comes in, I'm like a little kind of curly whoosh here, and I couldn't get rid of it. There is no I have tried expensive products like for anti-frizz and all the rest of it. Nothing really does the job, because as soon as it rains, I have like this one goes in this one is all kind of curled up nicely here. So long story short, so I tried that soap bar, and I must admit, and I even didn't bother to buy the conditioner bar, which you can buy separately. And yes, the first, I would say 3, 4 washes, like I do it like every 2 days, the hair felt very kind of weird. They felt very heavy. When you blow dry them, they felt very, very heavy and kind of not sticky, but it's kind of just a weird feeling. And I thought, like, I don't know. And then but I realized that actually I didn't use on purpose. I thought I will try. I didn't use any hairspray, which I normally would. I didn't use any foam or hair drying styling products, which I would normally use. And it's like today. I have a nice shape. They don't curl. There is quite a lot of them. They kind of hold the volume. And why I started to say that, because when all this lockdown, the shop is closed, and I thought, like, oh, well, I can't get anymore. I will just, oh, well, what ifs? Let's go and just use normal shampoo. And I used it for a day, and I even had a leftover of really expensive conditioner. And I'm not naming any brands because they don't pay me for this. So I tried, and my hair, yes, I washed it, and they started, after the first wash, while they're still wet, they felt very sleek and kind of slippery and all the rest of it. I dried it, and my wash was back. All up here, like all very frizzy. As soon as it's slightly damp or I get hot, which you sometimes do get hot, so everything was very frizzy. So, and then I thought, oh, well, and then one day walking through Tiverton, I just thought, like, oh, of course, there is another health food shop we have. Wonder if they have these shampoos. And I walked in because, yes, you can order online, but I couldn't be asked. So I walked in, and yes, of course, they do have it. There's Essential Journey and Essential Purchase. And I bought one, and I'm back to normal, hopefully, because again, because I used the commercial ones, which kind of strip the natural oils, and they coat the hair with their silicons or whatever they have. So it has taken me now 2 washes to get back to that kind of, yes, the hair are not very shiny, but then again, as you can see, I need coloring and all the rest of it. But yeah, I'm very impressed. So I just thought, as we are all sitting at home now for at least another 3 weeks, so we have a lot of time to play with these things, because if you're not happy, you don't need to go out in the public. So it's a good time to actually try. So that's all I can say. I quite like it. I'm impressed. They seem quite dear on the first place, because the bar is like, it depends on the make, between like £3.50 to £4 or £5 a bar. But I don't use any hairspray. I don't use any hairstyling. I don't use any conditioner. That's it. I wash it with the soap, and that's it. Job done. And I'm impressed. It kind of actually looks better than it has ever looked with all the products which I have once. And please don't show this. I will cut this out if I can, because if Martin would know that I nearly paid £20 for, I was sold a product which will be the anti-frizz, anti-damp frizz, which will protect, and it will look all nice. It doesn't. Anyway, so that's about the lifestyle and things. If you will have more time, I will tell you what I've been cooking, but that's on end, because it's not a cooking program. Really, it's me just yapping. Have you done your socks? I have done one. I have finished my first sock. And this is my designer sock with leftover yarns. If you ask why there is these weird color combos, it's purely because I was trying to use, and I hope I still have enough on the weight. I still have enough of all the 3 colors to do the other sock. So have any of you, oh, by the way, I realized if you watch me on a full screen, if you have put the video on the full screen of computer, you will not be able to comment. And as I can see, somebody has commented, and this is so funny because I can see typed comment there. And what I'm trying to do is type the answer. So yes, how many, the question is, how many washes do I get from one bar? I don't really know, but it lasts, I would say it lasted me a month, possibly. You know, it's just one of those things, because I guess it depends how often you wash and how much you use it. So I would say, yeah, I would say a month it lasted. I can't count because I didn't count the washes. So I would say like 1, 2, 3. Well, I would say, yeah, 10, 15 would be an average plus minus number. So it's not too bad. It's not like 1 or 2 only. So anyway, back to the sock. Back to the sock. No, shampoo bar to the, yeah, so that's why the color combo is a bit weird, because I was just trying to use the color to kind of proportionally from what I had left over. For those of you who knitted the sock, I hope you get on all right. And if you have any questions, then just ask. And this is how, you see, the gray on this sock, I started where is the toe decrease. So you can see how long the decrease takes. And you can see where it's been like the decrease lines have gone, they form quite nice kind of pattern. But everything is nice and rounded, so you can flatten the sock this way, or you can flatten it this way, and it kind of, it just works. And it's a sock, so, and it's easy and no stitching up. Yeah, so I have done this one, and I was hoping that, I said from this pair I was kind of wavering around previously. I have this sock with the long kind of foot, a long part done, and I was hoping that I could get on and finish, because I think the finishitis is coming on. I want to finish things. I even managed, you know, there is jobs like, for all talking about outside jobs now. Like I said, I've been painting, and I'm painting fence. I even managed to get Martin to clear behind the greenhouse where the fence, you know, we have a fence and then is the greenhouse, and there is a gap. He apparently left the gap big enough for somebody to squeeze through. Well, I tried in the morning, I can't get through. I said, like, I'm sorry, I don't want to get stuck. And then you're filming me trying to get unstuck from there. So he has gone behind the greenhouse. He has cleared all the brambles, ivy, everything, and scraped the fence clean. And even he came in before he left to his happy place allotment. He said, "Oh, I even managed to paint, but I ran out of paint." I said, "Look, oh, that's all right. I can continue because I can now reach there with my hand. I don't need to squeeze behind the greenhouse to paint the fence." So that is a job well done, because you go out and it doesn't look like overgrown bushes. But coming back to the socks, yeah. So there is the sock which I thought I have knitted more. So this one I just need to knit the foot and finish. And I was hoping I will get on with this, but not only due to my back troubles, but due to other things which I got engaged with, yes, it didn't happen. Oh, the other thing is, I have had people asking me, there were some people direct messaged about my outfits, right? One more explanation. This jumper is crocheted in Rowan Creative Linen, which they say is DK, but I would more classify it as Aran, so it's quite heavyweight DK. The pattern is in the latest Rowan magazine, and I think, is it magazine 65? Definitely it's not 66, so I would remember that, but so I think it's magazine 65. If the magazine 65 doesn't exist, then it's 64. I just can't remember those numbers. And it's in there in a magazine. So, and do double check on knitwear.com. They might have it as a loose pattern as well. So this one is crocheted. The other outfit I was wearing, and we got a bit confused. The lady said, with the nice colors going from shoulder to shoulder. So is it this one shoulder to shoulder, or is it this one? This one, my little orange cardi, I call it little, well, it's not little. My one was a special order. I ordered in extra large. So, yeah, these ones are ready to wear. This is not my work. This one is work of little Scottish people. It's a Scottish knitwear company called Eriben, like that. We have these ones. We started to sell them just before Christmas, I think. And we have some nice colors back in stock just before the close down. We have the Arctic, which is the gray and blue, which is very nice. That one we have size large, I think, left. We have large size in this color scheme. And then there is the beautiful yellow, because I was very undecisive between this one or the yellow. But this one was in stock. Yellow was even a longer wait for special order. So I got the orange one for myself. But these ones are online. You can buy it. The sizing is quite tight. Well, I say tight because I bought extra large. But I would say that the large would fit reasonably to size 14, maybe 16. It would be, I would say, already kind of nice and really snug fit. If you like things looser, then I would say if you're size 12 to 14, go for the large. And yeah, so they are available online. Have a look on the website, no problems. Oh, the other thing now, talking of website, and again, this one was yesterday. I was in the shop. I photographed everything, but I put new kits online for the Alpaca Classic, which is this kind of alpaca and cotton mix, where we have the free pattern like that for a scarf. But we have put kits online called Plush Poncho by Martin Story. And the beauty is the kits are 10 balls of wool, and that's all you're paying. With that, you will have the full color with 12 patterns book, which will contain the poncho, obviously. It will contain the poncho pattern, but there will be 12 other DK or Alpaca Classic patterns in the book. And normally the book retails around £9.50, but we have made kits up so you can have a good look on the colors. Yeah, so we have covered socks, we have covered new kits. Oh, now we come to the pleasure. What I've been doing, as I said, as my back has been a bit kind of funny, or that was my excuse. No, it wasn't excuse really. Some of you know that me, and I hope the lady who's been going to the same place, or she's been at least to one class, is watching. Um, I have got carried away with pencil drawings, colored pencil drawings, and I've been in a couple of classes in old kennels. They are called the old kennels. Have a look at them online. Oops, Martin was dusting this morning. Anyway, yes. So the old kennels, have a look, Google them, have a look on their online because what they have done. Normally, you would only go there, and it's a lovely place. It's a lovely farmhouse. The best thing about all the classes is lunch. No, it's not the best thing about all the things. It's a really lovely atmosphere, and I've been there for a couple of drawing classes. I think I've been drawing daffodil, and we've been doing snowdrops. And was I doing anything else? I can't remember now. I think I've been twice because normally I could go only on Mondays, and I have booked one class for autumn, which I hope will go ahead regardless that the class is available online now as well. So what they have done now, they have put some of the drawing classes online, so you can pay £25 and you have your video, you have your instructions. The only trouble, of course, is if you have never done it, you would need a little bit more guidance. I think it's more designed for people who have a little bit of understanding of colors and how it works. But anyway, so I had booked. The first thing is Snowy Owl. I booked the Snowy Owl, drawing Snowy Owl, and only after I booked and received the instructions, I realized I need to use colored paper as a background, which I didn't have. So obviously, what did I do first thing? I went online and I ordered colored paper. But how deliveries are now, it doesn't come next day, does it? And then I got the second class, which was weasels or stoats. So, and what you do, you need to find somewhere a nice photo of the animal, right? And then you get onto yours, and this one was my first attempt, which is not finished. And there was another picture photo which I didn't use, but then I realized, and this is funny because people who know me, I don't do brown. I just don't do brown. And I ended up, I did need to order brown pencils. Brown, really? Anyway, so this little animal now is missing the dark browns. So that little animal is supposed to be that, with a limp leg. Martin said, "Oh, you need to put a stone in here so he has the leg on the stone." I said, like, no, he just lifted his leg like that. But as I didn't know how, well, it's kind of, that's how it happened. So my one has a limp leg. But I hope that when I have my brown pencils, I can kind of adjust a little bit the coloring because it is a bit too orange. And I'm quite pleased with that. I'm not 100% sure, but I can tell you it's very, very good entertainment because this one, to be honest, took me I think I got into the third evening. So until I finish and until I play with the dark brown, it will be, full three evenings to do. So it's quite, I don't know, I find it very relaxing because in the end of the day, I don't need to, that's the beauty of treating it as a hobby, not as a business when you have, or something like when you have to do it, you have to finish, you have to do it. This one is kind of, well, if it doesn't happen, like I started the first one and I wasn't happy. Can you see how I have done there? How I put too much shadow in the wrong place when I started, and I didn't like, well, you can't really see because the photo does show the back leg there through to the um, chest, like there, you know, and I was trying to copy it exactly. And then, yeah, the face was kind of a bit more too wide. This one has a better face. It's more kind of elongate, you know, more closer to the original, but it needs finishing. And it's lost the back leg, so through to the chest. So, and I think it kind of looks slightly better. So, yeah, so that's what I've been doing and entertaining myself. And yeah, so I will do it tonight. I will finish this one, hopefully. Then the other one is I would like to finish the other sock, which is the boring thing. Oh, and look at my pencils. Look, 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 look. They are all color coordinated now. Ah, ah, and this is not all. This is not all. This is just, and then there is a crochet roll with the rest of the colors. And yeah, so that's that. The other thing which I would like to get on is that waistcoat I was doing. And it's a shame I haven't, again, because of the knit, I tried to limit my knitting slightly because it was just otherwise I knew I would just hurt myself. This is as far as I got on the Isager favorite places. This one is. And it's knitted sideways, so that one is that side coming in. I think it will be really nice. And I know this one defeats when I said like I don't do brown. This one is not really brown. This one is kind of, there's all sorts of colors. This one is more khaki and the grey and the white. There is a bit of brown like there, but that's not like a brown. So we can live with this. And there is a little bit of nutmeg, which makes it look more brown. So I think it works all right. And like I said to you before, I will repeat myself because repetition is mother of knowledge. I was told very early in school. So if you repeat things, people remember. There is my little chart list. And I'm sure you know what it is, like the row counters. I will not go over it again. But as you can see now, when I haven't done this one, I haven't touched it for, yeah, since Saturday last week. So it's nearly a week. And to be honest, if you ask me to remember in which part and which row, where was I, what I was doing, I have no idea. I have no idea at all. But here, I can look back on my book and I can tell that in this color, and I need to change the color every 15 rows, and every 6 row I need to increase. This one gives me that there I change the color. See that little strip there, little mark? So that one gives me idea that I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows in that color, and I have done increase there, which I'm doing across, and 2 rows after increase. So I need to do 3 more rows, and then I will need to increase, and obviously then up to 15 in the color. And this way I find it really easy to go back to your work without thinking like, oh God, now I need to recount everything. Oh, I can't be bothered, I'm not continuing. So there. What else? Yes, I have these 2 balls still bothering me. You know, these. These are now seriously starting to bother me. Because as I was talking about the artist I really like and the color changing work and the kind of optical illusions and everything else, I really want to do something like that. But my optical illusion haven't gone much further than that. And this bothers me. But the trouble is, these 2 balls together is a lot of yarn. It's quite fine DK or very thick 4-ply. We can say either way. So 3.5 millimeter needles or hooks. and there's a lot of the yarn. So what do? I would love, I can kind of visualize it as, because I don't want top. I don't know. I don't want like a summer top, but the yarn is so soft that the bag, if I do a shopper bag, will be too flimsy. Because all I would like to do is like I have a oh, that's when you don't throw things out, but you do like now. I think the houses everywhere in the world will be the cleanest, the tidiest. The kitchen cupboards will be absolutely perfect everywhere. So anyway, so I was digging in my wardrobe trying to get rid of some stuff, and I found that last year I haven't thrown out my favorite summer shopper bag, which I bought. It was really cheap. There was nothing special, but it was just one of those things with just work. And it's kind of a normal, just a shopper bag, square, a good size, but the lunchbox fits in. And normally my criteria for a bag was I need to put in a brolly, a lunchbox, and knitting. Because every time when I leave in the morning, I need a brolly, a lunchbox, and normally I was carrying back knitting or crocheting or something like handiwork. So that was my criteria for bag, and that bag was fitting those criteria very, very well. The only thing which I kind of desired sometimes when the bag was too full and the pocket on the side inside the bag was too close to the top, so if the bag fell over, things were coming out of it, so I would put the zip on. So, but anyway, this one is just too flimsy to do it. And I'm a bit annoyed about it. And I'm thinking, like, what else can I do? And I don't want two balls is too much for a shawl or a scarf because it will be ginormous. Yeah, I don't know. And what technique to use? I was hoping I can do the crocheted kind of squares. I might end up just crocheting squares and then stitching them up in some random things. I don't know. But or knitting squares and then stitching them up as a random objects. I don't know, but these ones are still, every time I look at them, they do bother me, and I cannot decide what to do. And how, you have visions, and you have two balls of wool, which is kind of complies with the vision, but doesn't do it technically. That's visually it would work, but structurally, I don't think so. So these two brothers are still kind of kicking around dining room, getting in my way. And if I haven't, as some of you have been watching patiently, I haven't bored you to tears yet. There is one little thing. Do you have a big freezer full with last year's summer berries? We do, because somehow it's always you harvest everything because you can't leave it in the field, and then we stick it in the freezer, and we eat them. We do use them during the winter, but there's always the backlog coming from the last year. And now we're thinking like, well, in how it looks, we might in like 6 weeks, we might even have first strawberries like in 4 weeks if the weather continues like it is, because they are flowering already quite strongly. And in the 6 weeks, we might have the first raspberries. And it's funny because we never have, with Martin, we never have an argument because he's a raspberry man and I'm a strawberry girl. So I love my strawberries, but he likes his raspberries. But at the moment, the strawberries are all gone. So you know who's eating stuff. There's no strawberries left in the freezer. But there's a lot of raspberries. And he likes a little desserts now and then. So what I'm doing, as by accident, I found out it works very well. You get your packs of jelly sheets, the jelly sheets for gelatin sheets or whatever you call them. And you need, I think most of the manufacturers, you work on the principle that four of those little sheets will do roughly a pint or just over, a little bit smidgen over half a liter of liquid. It will turn into jelly. So what I'm using wine glasses. That's why these ones are kicking around, because these ones are just washed. We just nearly finished our last lot. I take some nicest frozen berries. I put in a glass. The scruffy ones from the bottom of the bags. I put, let's say, 3 small cups of berries. Put like roughly half a liter, 500 ml of water, but you just watch the proportions so it tastes all right. A bit of sugar, boil it hard, squash it through to the sieve. Put your jelly sheets, obviously according to instructions, because they need to be soaked for 10 minutes, and then you take them out, plonk the jelly sheets in the liquid while it's still hot, and then I pour over still frozen berries. And then in the fridge, and the next day we have beautiful jellies with fresh fruit in them. And it's really nice actually in the hot weather, as it is now. And then it's up to you how you eat them and how many you eat them. But I found this way I'm using up quite a lot of last year's berries, because what else do you do? I mean, crumble is all right, but you can't do raspberry crumble. And just to boil them up, what do you do with them? This way we use quite a lot, so it's at least 3-4 cups go in every time I do the jellies. So yeah, so I'm now jellied. And I made Martin laugh last time when I was making jellies, because he checked this lot, right? And we have new brand of jelly sheets. And possibly it was me who put a little bit too much liquid. So he said, "Oh, your jellies are not jellies. It looks like very strong fruit drink." And I just said, "Oh, well, it will be gentle jellies." He said, like, how jellies could be gentle? Well, it's a gentle jelly. It's not a hard jelly. It's a gentle jelly. It's obvious. Anyway, on that note, I wanted to show you something. Give me a sec, and I hope it's wound up. I want to show you something. There you go. I'm back. This is the most prettiest thing or sweetest thing, and I thought that will cheer you up for weekend. Look, it had a life. You can see the back has been as it is. The box is as it is. It has the most prettiest, I think it's the painting on top. And some of you obviously know who've been in the shop that we have introduced antiques to the shop. And this one is one of these buys, which was like, like a Sleeping Beauty, because it was really, really scruffy when we got it. And you can see, yes, it has had a life, but I think that adds the character. And it just looks really pretty. And there's a mother of pearl inlay. And it's not only that, right? And now, watch this. Isn't that lovely? And a little squeak, and it closes. On that note, thank you very much for watching, and I will be back. I will be back on 1st of May, 3 o'clock, same time, same place. So thank you very much for watching, and enjoy your weekend and the week, and see you all soon.